Please subscribe and share this video with your friends. Hello, lovely ladies. I just did a British accent. Hello, lovely lady. Except
it was that good.
Was it?
That was remarkably good.
I feel like I do the rain in Spain. You know, I do that really bad one. Anyway, I'm Marni Battista from the Dating Den, datingwithdignity.com, and I'm here with the wonderful, handsome, and British, because that's how I roll, Adam Lyons. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Maybe you can help me perfect my British accent.
Done.
Okay, so we're speaking of British, you know, my guy is from the UK. I didn't have to date him long distance, luckily, but I did have a long distance relationship. I even bought a special suitcase. Wow. I called it the LDR, the long distance relationship bag. I was in it to win it. He was in San Francisco. And it was really interesting. And so we had a question come in about, like, how far is too far? Like, San Francisco, LA, okay? San Francisco, UK, too far? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I did a relationship for a year across the Atlantic. So it was London to Texas. And eventually I moved out to America, which is one of the reasons that I came here initially.
Oh, okay.
Was for a girl. So yeah, long distance relationships can work. They can work over, I did over 5,000 miles. So if you can do it over that distance, I think you can.
How did you, so how did you set that up? Like, one of the biggest questions we get is, like, who pays? How often do we see each other? That kind of thing.
I set some pretty strict rules on it, actually.
I bet you did. Now that I'm getting to know you a little bit. Okay, so what were they?
Pretty solid rules. The very first thing was the initial time was in London.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm going back home. And I was like, I'm going to come and visit you. And she's like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I understand that. And she went to get her makeup ready in the bathroom because we were going to go out to dinner.
Yeah.
And while she was in the bathroom, I bought a flight.
Oh,
and so
handy dandy cell phone.
Right, yeah. So when she came back out of the bathroom, I was like, so what are you doing on such and such day? And she's like, I don't know, that's like in a month.
Right.
And I was like, well, hopefully you can pick me up from the airport. And she's like, what do you mean? I showed her, and she's like, I can't believe you just did that.
That's so awesome.
And I was like, well, you said you believe when you see it. I was like, and I like being a man of my word, so there you go.
This is huge. I just want to pause because the first part of having a successful long-distance relationship is that he's actually following through. His words and actions are matching. So I really want to see you quickly. Might not be in 5 minutes, but I hear a lot of women like, he says he's going to come, and like, so first thing is it's happening. Yeah, okay, number 2.
You have to do it. And so number 2, we kept hanging out, and then of course I went out there to go and see her, and I stayed there for a week, and we got on great and everything was wonderful. And I said to her, would you like to see me again?
Okay.
So that way it was, coming up to her, and she's like, yeah, of course. I was like, okay, then I'll see you next month.
Okay.
And she's like, are you serious? You're going to come back here next month? And I was like, yeah, I'll come back here next month. I was like, you'll never have to wait longer than 28 days to see me.
Wow, stand-up guy. Okay.
And that was the rule. So there were three total, so 2 more after that one. And then
you never expected her to come see you.
Wow.
Okay.
At that point, I didn't.
Okay.
But after 3 times going to see her, I started to feel that she wasn't reciprocating.
Oh, okay.
That she was having her own life, seeing me for a week, and then getting back to her own life.
Okay.
And I said to her, I was like, just so you know, I want to take you to Venice.
Okay.
I was like, I've always wanted to go to Venice. I always thought that I would and I told her before, I was like, I always thought that the girl that I get married, I would take her to Venice.
Okay.
And so she knew this. I was like, and I think I want to take you to Venice. I was like, but I am not ever going to come and see you again until you come and visit me.
Okay.
And when you come and visit me, I'll take you to Venice.
Okay.
So so we'd been together for about 3 months.
And were you, okay, so here, this is another general rule. So while you're long distance, are you exclusive, or are you having that conversation, or are you still dating other people?
We had the conversation.
Okay.
I wanted to stay exclusive, and she didn't.
Okay.
And I said to her, I don't think you know what it means to have a dating coach, be dating a dating coach, and tell them you want non-exclusive when that dating coach is male.
Right.
And she was adamant, I want non-exclusive. And I was like, I'm really willing to be exclusive, just so you know. And she didn't want to.
Okay.
And that was a whole other story where I then followed her wishes. We had a non-exclusive relationship, and she found out that it was that it was what she wanted,
right?
But then was obviously very upset that
it's all fun and games until he sleeps with someone else.
Yeah, exactly. And, so, and I didn't rub it in her face. I was very
Right,
gently
yeah,
about
yeah.
it, but she didn't enjoy that. And I said to her, I was like, well, this is what you wanted. I was
Right.
like, and she had to agree, and she was like, hey, I don't think I want that anymore. And I was like, that's great.
Okay.
I didn't want it in the first
So
place.
number 2 is you have rules about how often you see each other. You have a conversation about exclusivity, and you have to live with the consequences.
Completely.
Both ways.
Whatever you said, don't be like, this is what I want, but then actually I wanted this, and it was a test. No tests. What
Okay.
you want is what you get.
Okay.
And that's how it works.
Okay.
And so then I said to her, I was like, but I made it really clear, I was like, I didn't want a long distance relationship with somebody that I wasn't going to potentially settle down with.
Okay.
And so I was like, just so you know, I won't be coming to visit you again until you come and see me.
Right.
And when you come and see me, I'm going to take you to Venice. And I've always thought the girl that I take to Venice is the girl that I'm going to marry. So now you know the parameters.
Okay. So you want to find out right away, are you in the same relationship goal?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you seeing this with the same potential?
Yeah, are you going to do this or are you not going to do this? If you do this, this is where I'm taking it. This is
Okay.
how the rule is. And I'm willing to walk at this point
Right.
if you're not going to match this.
Which is awesome because you shouldn't, if the guy is not looking for the same thing, then you say, like, I don't want to be your long distance, like, quality booty call.
Completely.
Okay, so we have to know, did she come to Venice?
Actually that evening I was having a shower, and when I came out of the shower she bought a flight, and she was like,
she played your
just so you
game.
know, yeah, she's like, I'm coming. And so sure enough she came. We went to Venice and we had the whole Venice trip, and we continued for an entire year. We took it in turns from that point, seeing each other every other month. She took a turn and I took a turn, and then I moved to America and I got married.
You got married. He's not married anymore,
Not
but he's in
anymore.
a relationship, so he's not available.
Yeah.
So the advice is there is sort of no too far,
No.
as long as you're both in it to win it. There has to be. I do think there has to be some rules and expectations.
Yeah, or if there's no rules, then have no expectations and don't get upset. Because that's the flip side to it. If you're not gonna take that step and say, let's have some rules in this, then be prepared for anything.
Right. And what's also really, really important, ladies, is that if he's not following through consistently, if it's not picking up the pace, if he's not calling you, FaceTiming, buying tickets, then he goes back to our first one we shot today. He's probably not that into you. So make sure you have to have really, really stellar communication skills, I think, when you do a long distance relationship.
Yeah, you do. I mean, and the thing that actually kept that relationship alive was Skype. We Skyped every day for hours a day.
Right.
And that was the key element. So, she was like studying at the time and sort of like, postgraduate or whatever it was that she was doing. And I would sit there and I would help her with her work. And I would be doing my work and she'd be doing her work on Skype. And we would just be
together.
digitally in the same room, just getting used to hanging out and talking and laughing. And that's what we did. I'd make her... I'd take pictures of my day and put them into compilation videos and send them to her.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
He was really into her.
Yeah, it was a very romantic thing, but we put energy and effort into it, and that's what
how
kept
you make it work.
Yeah, and I after that I was married to her for 5 years. I mean, she was without a doubt an awesome person, and to this day still one of my very good friends. We still spend a lot of time talking. It just ultimately our future goals didn't align, but it was. The long distance relationship part of it worked because we put the effort into it.
Yep, you both have to do it. Yes, Craig?
How often should you see the other person? Like for you, it was 28 days, but
Sure.
is there a rule that if you go 2 months without seeing that person or 3 months without physically seeing them, is that a problem?
I would argue that you have the ability to see somebody every 2 months.
Yeah.
No matter what the distance, if you really want to see them, you could pull it off every 2 months, give or take a couple of weeks here and there, 10 weeks or what have you. But you should be able to pull off seeing somebody every 2 months. If you can't, if you're just doing that thing, I'm just going to come home and see you on vacations or what have you,
That's not, you can't build a relationship
That's not a
because you still have to put in, like any relationship, you have to make it a priority. So the answer is, to your question, my dear, there is no such thing as too far.
Exactly.
And we have a success story right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you can find more at datingwithdignity.com. You can send me some tweet. Have you been in a long distance relationship? At Marni Battista. And where can they tweet you?
You can find me on Twitter at AFCAdam, and you can reach me on my website at thedatingcoach.com.
Awesome. We love you. Mwah. Have a great day.
Thanks.